Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be carrying on with some Scrim gameplay here. So this literally qualifies in a couple of days time, starting on Saturday. So some intense scrims coming up in the next few days. Of course, preparation is always going to be hard for these, so a lot of work and effort going into them. So before we go into today's video, make sure you're using the credit code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so heading into the first game then, so we're going to be looking over some knockout games that we played against Craze Clan. So Craze Clan, a really good team, definitely one of the strongest teams in the region right now. I'm predicting them to get top 8 in the monthly qualifiers. But anyway, going into this one, so as you can see, Goldarm Gooch, honestly, knockout, really one of our strongest modes. So overall, I feel like, well, we played one game of knockout before this, ended up losing quite closely. We picked Rico first pick, so this time around, we kind of thought that Gene was much better as the first pick, just because Gene, you can just normally chip down, get his super, and normally his super is pretty much a free kill every single time, other than whether they've got like a gadget. But it's not really too many brawlers that have one of those gadgets that you can block something like a pull with. Like, there's not a lot of Tara, not a lot of Ruffs, you know what I mean, etc, etc. So we've picked that Gene at first pick. Probably the best picks for this map, the likes of Tick, Rico, Grom, still left to play. Trying to think of some other brawlers. I think Russ was played last time, which was pretty strong. Got lots of Byron. Bell can be really good. Leon, Daryl, of course, but Daryl got double banned. Fang, you're probably going to see the likes of. So they've gone with a Tick, which honestly is an okay pick, but we could easily just go Grom to counter that, or just any type of aggro. Again, this is why Fang can be so strong. So again, what our thinking is if they're going to go Rico, he's a really strong brawler, but we could easily go like a Fang, because Fang is really strong against those brawlers, which he can super on top of, and then just get an extra shot into him. So again, we're kind of taking our time with the picks here. So I can't actually remember what we went. I think they might have gone Rico here, which again, no real surprises, because of how strong Rico is on this map. In a few knockout maps, he can be insanely strong. So I'm thinking again, I think Loz is probably thinking of going the Fang. I think he was the one that kind of called that one up. So again, like, knockout is going to be really interesting. I've not really seen any tournaments whatsoever with knockout in play, which is a bit sad really. There's been literally no pre-qualified tournaments, which normally in other seasons there's always like a few tournaments with obviously people's proper rosters, so you can really get a feel of how things are in a tournament. So for a lot of teams, it's going to be the first time in a proper tournament with the rosters. So we've gone for the Byron. Byron, of course, just going to be really insane in knockout, insane in general, but with knockout, you're going to need 3 taps, and a lot of the times you can just get like one singular tap, and then you've got your super, and that can normally be enough to finish off most brawlers. And then obviously the Fang pick, Fang into a Rico and a Tick, is just going to be really, really strong. So that's why we've picked that. So to be honest, it's not really a lot of, well, I can't really think off the top of my head what they could actually go against our combination. You don't want to go like double thrower, especially against a Fang. And this map's a little bit awkward, so I can't remember what they went. I think they might have gone with like a Leon, but again, they're taking their time. So Buzz, probably went to try and counter the Byron and the Fang. Well, yeah, so Fang goes in, Buzz kind of stuns it. That's probably their thinking beyond it. But of course, we're going to be swapping our brawlers. Of course, the really good feature, which should be in Power League, or at least in Team Power League, but it's definitely in the friendly rooms, definitely a good addition. So I think in the future that'll probably be added to Team Power League and Solo Power League. I've seen quite a few comments about that in my last video. Obviously, not a lot of people really like Scrims, so probably a lot of people didn't really know about that. So again, with this map, it's most of the time people just really group up onto one lane. A bit of an awkward map, to be honest. I don't really mind it, but a bit awkward, as I said, like the engagements. It's a lot of walls, so it's all about just a slow chipping, just trying not to go down early. So you can see here, Loz going down. So of course we're on the Gene. Honestly, my Gene's a little bit rusty. It's not been in a meta for a long time, so but whenever I get a chance to play him, I do of course play him, because it's one of my comfort brawlers. So again, we've got the likes of well, only Rico and Tick alive. So unfortunately, just how it's kind of recorded, it's always cutting off the top part. So again, my teammate going to go down here, but with knockout and how it's really played, especially when you're in a 1v2 situation, a lot of the times you can't really clutch up. It's going to be pretty hard to clutch up when you're a one player down. So for the most part, you don't really want to be feeding them super, and you want to be getting your own super. So you see a lot of the times in knockout where people will literally just suicide in, well, suicide into the gas, just so you don't feed their enemies their super. So again, but unfortunately we didn't get the kill on the Tick. which if we probably pulled a little bit earlier, we would have got a kill, but unfortunately he got his gadget off in time. Buzz goes for a bit of a wild play. I mean, I think it was dead anyway, so he just went for a play there. So Tick gonna run on in here. I'll pull the Tick head, so that is pretty funny. I want to show this game because I thought that was pretty funny to me. It's just he got his Tick head in the bush. I had no idea it was coming, and then of course I pull it. So Lars just gonna go in there. Again, these brawlers haven't really got anything to combat Lars' super other than a tick head or a knockback, but still that's just not going to be enough to kill them. So you can see here we don't really want to feed well, no, he doesn't really want to feed me pulse, so he just runs into the gas. So that's what I spoke about last time around. So literally in that combination, again, the only thing that I can pull other than a target is a tick head. So I know I'm good for at least 2 of the brawlers, and then 3 of the tick. You got to be a little bit careful of that tick head. So you can see here Lars going in. He's going to be able to near enough get a full team wipe with 1 singular super, and that just shows again how strong Fang is. Only Buzz in their combination can deal with a Fang, so that's going to be their first set winner to us. So again, I think a little bit of a drafting error from them. Going both Tick and Rico can be really weak against that Fang, so that's where you probably want someone like a Gene or something that can have a knockback, or at least like a stun feature. I don't really know, you know, something that can cancel out that super from Fang. So going into the next game, again, just looking to slowly pinch people down, and you're going to get some taps onto the enemies. And as soon as he gets his super, he's able to confirm a lot of those kills. So again, just going to go pretty aggro. Buzz standing behind a wall here. Again, I don't really think well, Buzz was like really strong in the meta, especially when Gears first came out. But over time, I feel like Buzz has kind of slipped down in the meta. I don't know if it's because people are underrating him, but just right now, I don't really see him being used too much, or at least getting like a good win rate. So again, we're just going to run up on the Buzz. You can see here, Nadine's going to be able to get a couple of taps into him, super him, and basically get him down. That's why he's so strong. Lars going to go in there, so maybe a little bit premature. Maybe he thought he could have at least got one of the kills. But still, it was some decent pressure. Maybe if it was to wait for us just literally like a few seconds, we could have probably finished off those kills. But now, going into the final circle, it's going to be a little bit hard for us considering, well, no, a little bit hard for them, because we've got the Gene that can just run into their faces. So they're getting really low here. There's not enough time for them to get us down. So really well played there. It's really awkward in knockout, especially when you get towards that last circle. It's like you're just trying to survive as much as possible. It's pretty interesting. I think it'll be pretty good for the viewers to watch. Again, I did express that I didn't like knockout to begin with, but I think as a viewer it might be a little bit nice to watch, especially how clutch some moments can be. Again, I wouldn't really ever expect like a 1v3 clutch. You're probably like 1 in 1,000 chance. So if you do actually see that ever, then you know it's going to be absolutely amazing. But that's going to be the first game right there, knockout. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, so heading into the second game, so we've got Bridge Too Far Heist. As you can see, we've got Daryl and Byron banned. We don't really like the Byron synergies with a lot of tanks here, so we thought we'd ban the Byron this time around. We're always switching out the bans in scrims just to see what kind of meta goes with a lot of these different drafts. So with drafts, I feel like a lot of the time actually like the picks will actually matter more than how you play them. Of course, you can always win your matchups, but a lot of the times a good draft will win you the game. So a lot of it is just rinse and repeat, just trying to get as many games in as possible and certain maps just to learn different metas against different picks. You know what I mean? There's just so many different combinations you can pick in a draft. I'm really liking it so far, but the only bad thing about draft is the last pick. Sometimes on some maps, last pick can just carry so hard. Because obviously you're looking at all 5 brawlers before yours, and you can easily see the enemy team's composition, and then you can just counter it with a last pick. So you'll see what I mean right here. So they've gone with a Collect. Collect has actually got a bit of a resurgence in the Heist meta, especially in the last month. Can be really good on some maps, and especially considering like how good some aggro brawlers are in this meta. She's really strong, and especially in those 1v1 situations down the lane. So you can see here we've picked a Sprout. Sprout, again, just such a good brawler on this map. Only as a last pick though. Of course, you can probably get countered by the likes of Fang, Daryl, or just any high HP brawler really. So you've got to really assess what comp you're going off against. And as you can see, Sprout's going to be really good going into this. So we've got the Lola insane on Bridge Too Far, especially once she wins her lane. It can be really strong. Literally all of these brawlers, well, what you're going to try and aim for is just to win your lane once. The first engagement is so important, because it's so hard to win your lane back on this map. And then talking about Bell, Bell is absolutely insane on this map because a lot of times you can just put a couple of shots on the safe and then it will obviously bounce, and it can just be really hard for enemy team to actually get out of their spawn because of Bell. Just really toxic, and the traps as well. It just means she's just an insane brawler on this map. So you can see here, Piper already breaking up one of my lanes. Of course, that can be an okay counter to Sprout, especially if you break open literally both the middle walls. Sprout may not be able to just contain the mid as much as he could before. So you can see here, Colette's going to super run in. Unfortunately, I do get gadgeted, but we've just got so much initial control. It's going to be really hard for enemies to come back. Again, a little bit of a bad pick from them. So you see a lot of times in drafts as well that people will just try different things. So they're doing really good in this scrim, to be fair to them, and they're going a lot of really good combinations. So that's why I think they're going to do so strong, because like their drafts are just really strong. It's hard sometimes to know what to go against some of their picks. So that's why I think they're so strong. So I've got the transplant gadget. Of course, just want to be making sure that I can funnel these people into just 2 lanes, and that's where Sprout's really going to thrive in. So you can see here, Lars just keeping his lane. Lou again, I just don't understand the Lou pick, just because it's so hard to hit your shots, and maybe again they're anticipating like some form of high HP brawler, but maybe they just completely forgot about Sprout. So Colette gonna run on in here. Of course, Lou's gonna eventually win his lane. I'm just going to use a wall onto that side. Still got one more gadget left. I believe there's like a minute left on the clock. So as you can see here, Nindin doing a really good job on the Bell. Is really insane on those long range brawlers. You can see, get some nice taps in on the Piper. Again, Colette goes down his lane as well, and Nindin's still going to win it. So absolutely insane on those longer range brawlers. And that's what I'm talking about on this map specifically. I think it's one of the early maps really where maybe on safe zone as well, but Bell normally in a 1v1 situations should lose to a Piper, but I think this map specifically, Bell is just insane on, just so strong. So Piper jumps up, somehow gets the kill on us, but 15 seconds left. You can see here we just kept control for the entirety of the time, and that's just what Sprout is like. You just want to keep control literally the entire game. So we're going to win that first game right there. But I really wanted to show you guys some games with like Daryl and Fang. With Daryl and Fang on this map are just crazy. Like the amount of aggro plays he can make. But again, like Byron and Daryl were actually banned. It seemed like they banned Daryl pretty much all the time as well. So I just realized as well, I think Grom was in play. I thought Sprout was actually better than Grom. On some maps specifically, I feel like Grom isn't needed as a first ban. Slowly as time has gone on, teams have realized that Grom may not be one of those auto ban picks. I think people probably just a little bit too lazy and just ban Grom anyway, but after some testing, after a few weeks, Grom is still like one of the best brawlers in the game, but it's not always banned every single time. So you can see here just getting some good damage. So again, like what I'd prefer Sprout over a Grom is just because of the lane blocking off the lanes, and I can keep cycling my walls over and over again. I can literally get like lane control for probably a third of the game with just my walls alone. So that's why it's so good on this map. I absolutely love playing Sprout, but it does kind of concern me, especially considering like literally you can just pick a Sprout last pick. So that's one reason why you probably got to go some sort of aggro brawler, just to anticipate that Sprout last pick. But then if you go like a Pam, for example, you can just get countered. You know, there's like an entire loophole around it, but I think overall it's as fair as it gets. So as I was saying about the Bell shots, Dean's just holding down his lane. There's multiple people going down his lane and they still can't take him on. That's just how good he is on the Bell. He's just destroying them right now. So Colette gonna get super on the Lola. So Nindin, as I was saying, that eventually gets taken down. So good wall bounce shot as well. You saw at the beginning of the first game that I was using the wall to bounce the Sprout shots. So if you guys didn't know, just a little tip. Obviously the Sprout shots are going to go longer with when they bounce onto a wall, so that's why I was doing that. And of course it's just a lot harder for the enemies to dodge when the shots obviously just going completely across the lane. So again, we've got another wall here. We can use that to block this shot, and then that's just going to be GG there. They do give up. Of course, Lou's not going to be really the best pick, but I just thought I'd show you some bridge too far gameplay because it's the only one I've got saved in my camera roll. So that is going to be the second game. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. So this Saturday and Sunday I will be uploading our qualifier games, and it probably will be a long video, so look forward for that one. But unfortunately, no tournament gameplay for a long time, so I'm obviously excited to get a little bit of competitive content back on the channel. So again, this is the only scrim gameplay. Like, teams are testing stuff out, and I'm only going to be showing like the good games for now. Of course, you don't want to be sitting through us just getting completely destroyed in some draft picks, but yeah, just a few taster games before the qualifiers this weekend. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.